Okay, so now we're going to be talking about comparisons to alternatives, right? We're going to be talking about comparing high ticket sales, setting and closing, being a setter or a closer for a high ticket product, right? And we're going to be comparing it to other alternatives. So yeah, we have the setting and closing, right? Being an appointment setter and being closer. Obviously, the appointment setter is the one who sets appointments for the closer, and the closer sells the product on the appointments, right? So it's high ticket sales, and both of them are usually, setting and closing for high ticket products. So 1 to 10K, coaching, consulting, services, agency model, etc. Right? So they're sales reps for obviously digital products, coaching, consulting within the range of roughly $1,000 to $10,000, right? So other business models, let's discuss that, right? So number one, you have Amazon FBA. Amazon FBA, right? So that is, Amazon FBA, I would say anything to do with e-com or Amazon FBA takes a lot of, there's a lot of costs in terms of, obviously, your profit margins are smaller. When you're getting paid for appointments that are in closing, the money you receive, you don't have to pay costs of it. You don't have to pay this. You don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay for your storage or new products, etc. That goes to your pocket, right? So the opposite with regard to, obviously, Amazon FBA and e-com is that you have costs. Does that make sense? Your profit margins usually smaller, etc. Content marketing, I don't have much experience, etc. But compared to, obviously, marketing, content marketing, paid ads, etc., I would say setting and closing is a lot easier to learn. That's a lot easier to learn. And if not saying closing is easy to learn, then at least setting is. And this is an appointment setting roadmap, free roadmap video, right? Setting, you're just setting the call between the closer and the basically the potential client. So the closer closes the potential client, right? You're just setting a meeting. You're getting both parties to show up onto the meeting which you set. Does that make sense? So yeah. So basically that's what obviously setting closing is, etc. Right? So the other business models, right? So the other business models which we're discussing, content marketing, paid ads, etc. I would say content marketing and paid ads definitely have to know, like, probably algorithms of like the social medias. They take longer to learn, especially with setting. Like, you're just setting an appointment, right? I think it's easier than these, etc. And I feel like these are pretty saturated as well. Airbnb, I don't know. Getting places, I don't know what you have to delve into there. Property and stuff, that's going to restrict you. I would say potentially it's going to restrict you to being in a certain region, etc. And obviously what we're trying to build here is remote work, right? And then obviously you have software engineering. Software, you need to know, you need to learn. Basically, it's going to take some time to learn, etc. I used to be a software engineer, so I know. Some time ago, when I was young, maybe 15, 16, then obviously I transitioned into remote sales when I was roughly around the age of like around 19. And now I'm 22, alhamdulillah. I would say, inshallah, successful in the space of, high ticket sales, etc. And then obviously we have recruitment. Again, recruitment, paid ads, agency, content marketing. I've seen a lot of it. I don't know if it's so easy, to be frankly honest with you. And if you just want to set clients onto meetings, then setting looks a lot easier than starting up your own agencies with these kind of stuff. This, you just have to basically get a role, start stacking commissions, fly out, etc. With this, I would imagine with content, paid ads, recruitment, you have to be finding cold searching for the client for to get client for your agency, and then doing it for those and sending loads of sort of cold emails and stuff like that. So it's probably a lot harder, I would say. Copywriting, I don't know if AI can do these days, and I'm not really sure about all this stuff. SMMA, it's okay, it's decent, but you're an agency again. This is a lot more work. Accounting, outbound, etc. When you're one of these roles, you're working in a company remotely and you're making good money. So I would say it's easier to get into. That's why I've seen people in the first week of coming into my paid mentorship land a role. Does that make sense? So yeah, these are comparison to alternatives. Does that make sense?